Hello everybody, this is Angela. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Come read with me, Angela54, and I am Angela, your host. And today, reading Who Was Mother Teresa. So, it's been a while. So let's see where we're at. We're on chapter 3. Chapter 3, Leaving Home. Drana still wasn't convinced Agnes was ready to become a nun. Also, if Agnes become a missionary, Drana might never see her daughter again. When 18-year-old Agnes told her mother that she still wanted to be a nun, Drana shut herself in her room and prayed for a whole day straight through. After 24 hours, Drana emerged to give Agnes her support. Drana knew her daughter had to follow her heart. Lars wasn't as understanding, though Agnes' brother had left home in 1924 to attend military school. By 1928, he was an officer in the Albanian military. He was upset because he felt that Agnes was giving up everything, all material things that is. He wrote his younger sister, asking her if she realized what she was doing. Agnes wrote back, Lars, Lars, you said that you are important because you're an officer serving the king of 2 million people, but I am serving the king of the whole world. Father Jambergsig knew that the Sisters of the Institution of the Blessed Virgin Mary were commonly called Loretta, Loreto Order, had worked in India for a long time. They were eager to bring Christianity to the largely Hindu and Muslim population. They also wanted to help the many people there. The Loreto Order had arrived in India in 1841. Oh, excuse me. To open a school in Calcutta. Agnes applied to the Loreto Order and was accepted. Sorry, that name is hard to say. Late in September 1928, Agnes' friends came to the Hindu house for a farewell party. The next day, many of them were also at the train station waving goodbye as Agnes, Age, and Drana left Skopje for Zagreb, Yugoslavia. In Zagreb, Agnes parted ways with her sister and her mother in a tearful goodbye. Drana had feared she would never see Agnes again, and she was right. That was the last time Agnes ever saw her mother or her sister. Agnes met another young woman who was joining the Loreto Order. Her name was Berka Kanja. Together, Agnes and Bertuk took the train to France. There they would meet with the Mother Superior, the nun in charge at the Loreto Order house in Paris. The Mother Superior wanted to be sure that they were ready for the religious life. Neither Agnes nor Berko spoke French, but an interpreter helped them out. Agnes was anxious to get to India to begin helping the poor. But there was work to do before that. She didn't speak English, which she would need to know to work in India. This was during the time of the British Rajah, when India was under the direct rule of the British government. Rajah means rule in Hindu. The British Rajah began in 1858 and lasted nearly 100 years. So Agnes and Burkha were soon back on the road, this time by train and boat to Dublin, Ireland. In Dublin, Agnes and Burkha stayed at the Lord Walto Order's main house. It was a huge convent house and a red brick and gray stone mansion that was built in 1725. They spent 6 weeks there learning English and studying to become a nun. Sorry about that. Agnes and Burkha weren't even allowed to speak to each other in anything but English. They had to learn the new language quickly. By the end of November 1928, Agnes and Burkha were finally ready to go to India. They took a train from Ireland to Italy, where they boarded the boat that would take them to Bombay, Italy, the city now called Mumbai. On the boat, Agnes and Burkha met several nuns from another order, and they all celebrated Christmas together. Soon it was New Year's Day, 1929, and Agnes was getting closer to starting her new life in India. Chapter 4, India. Early in January 1929, Agnes arrived in India in the city of Madras, now called Chennai. The port city of Madras had so many different colors, sights, and smells that Agnes has never experienced before. But it also had many poor people who made Agnes' heart ache. She saw one family gather around a relative who had died in the street. Other families who slept outside on mats made from palm leaves. Still others who didn't even have that, but simply slept on the bare ground. Agnes sailed up the Indian coast to Calcutta, now called Kolkata, for the first time on January 6, 1929. After 10 days in Calcutta, Agnes took her first train ride to Darjeeling. The town of Darjeeling is famous around the world for growing tea of the same name. It is located high above sea level. The average elevation is more than 1 mile, so the weather is much cooler than in many other parts of India. It has many beautiful plants, flowers, and animals, but Agnes wasn't there for the scenery. She was in Darjeeling to continue preparing to become a nun. At the Loretta convent in Darjeeling, Agnes studied English, Bengali, and Hindu for 2 years, while also teaching children at the convent school. While Hindu was the official language of India, Bengali was spoken in Calcutta. Her father's ability to speak many languages must have rubbed off of Agnes. She learned all of them quickly. She spoke excellent English, though with a heavy European accent, and also took easily with many people in India. On May 24th, 1931, Agnes took her first vows as a nun. Now she became Sister Teresa. She took the name Teresa after a French saint who was only 24 years old when she died in 1897. Sister Teresa, Agnes, had much in common with Sister Teresa. She had been called Flower Bud, and Saint Teresa was known as the Little Flower. They were both known for their simplicity, and particularly, and Saint Teresa, who had been a nun, was a patron saint of missionaries. An inspiration to Saint Teresa, Agnes spelled her name the Spanish way, T-E-R, T-E-R-E-R, T-E-R-E-S-A. Teresa became there because there already was a Sister Marie Teresa as Loreto. The school children started calling Sister Teresa Benji Teresa since she spoke their language so well. Not long after taking her vow, Sister Teresa went back to Calcutta. She began teaching the girls at St. Mary. The school was located within the high white walls that separated the Loreto convent from the bustling city outside. For much of the next 17 years, Sister Teresa's daily routine was the same. She was up at 5:30 in the morning for some quiet time before Mass at 6 a.m. Then came prayer time, breakfast, and school. After school, there was office work, afternoon tea, correcting papers, then dinner, even prayers, and bedtime. This is the religious vows of a nun. A Roman Catholic nun publicly vows or pledges her commitment to the church. She promised to observe poverty, chastity, and obedience as part of her calling to serve God. The value of poverty means the nun will not own things. She will live in a community of other nuns and share food and possessions. The value of chastity means she will not enter a romantic relationship and will never marry. The value of obedience means she will obey her leaders in the church. After her vows, a nun wears a ring on her right ring finger to symbolize that she is married to the church. In some orders, like Mother Teresa, Loretta orders, the vows are taken again after several years and are considered final vows. Sister Teresa took her final vows in 1937. So that's how, if you want to become a nun, that's the vows that you take, and then you wear like a wedding ring on your right hand, showing that you're married to the church and a bride of Christ. In 1944, the Mother Superior at St. Mary's became ill. Sister Teresa was hardworking and organized, and she knew how the school functioned due to her long service there. So she took over the Mother Superior's duties, and she would be known as Mother Teresa the rest of her life. Mother Teresa found comfort in the disciplines of her routine and joy in teaching the students. I love teaching, Mother Teresa said, and in Loretta, I was the happiest nun in the world. Well, that is the end of chapter 3 and 4. Please hit like and subscribe to my channel. Please hit the notification bell so you'll know when I come up with a new video. And I hope you all will have a good and blessed Thursday. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.